Good morning, my name is Ryuji Uematsu. I'm working for the Sewage and Wastewater Management Department, Ministry of Land, Infrastructure, Transport and Tourism in Japan. This morning, I would like to make a presentation, policies and regulatory framework on the wastewater management and water use in Japan. I'm afraid that my presentation is not directly related to the water quality monitoring, but let me try it. First of all, I would like to begin with the history in Japan. As you can see, Japan experienced water contamination around 1960 in the river and sea due to the rapid economic growth. As you can see this picture, the picture shows serious water contamination in Kyoto-U city. And Kyoto-U is located around here, but we could see such kind of water contamination is not only this area, but also other country and around Japan. That's why Japanese government has added to the take countermeasures. Japan started to conduct sewage works in earnest, along with regulating effluent from factory. As a result, in the current situation, we can enjoy the sound water quality, like this picture. Sorry. So next slide. I would like to explain about the regulatory framework in Japan. I still call the diet in 1970 as a pollution control session because at the time, members of parliament and the lawmakers discussed intensely on the pollution issue and developed the framework of the environmental sanitation policy. At the time, I enacted first of all, I enacted water pollution control law in order to establish environmental quality standards. To protect human health and to conserve living standards. And also, in order to achieve environmental quality standard, effluent from factory or commerce facility should be regulated by the local government. And also, local governments are required to monitor water quality at the public water bodies, in the river and sea. And also amended sewage law in the 1970s. Next slide explain about sewage law in Japan. Based on the sewage law, national government and local government share responsibility to promote sewage works in Japan. For example, national government is responsible for making vision, law regulation, technical standard, providing subsidy and the financial assistance to the local government in terms of the construction of the sewage facility. And also local governments, as like other countries, local governments are implementing ordination. And the law obliges local government to treat wastewater to achieve environmental quality standard, which I mentioned. Frankly speaking, before 1970, local governments in Japan had not been required to treat wastewater prior to discharging them into the river and sea. And also, local government should monitor, inspect effluent quality from water quality from wastewater treatment plant and keep the record for a few months. And also, the law compelled landowner to use the sewage system in the service area. In the service area, landowner should install drainage facility to connect public sewage system. And also, the law obliges those who discharge industrial toxic wastewater into the sewage system to pre-treat toxic substance in order to maintain the function of sewage facility and also to achieve effluent quality from wastewater treatment plant. And also, industry or factories have to inspect, monitor effluent quality and keep a data for a few months. And ensure doing so, according to the law, prior checking and improvement orders and penalty system by local government to the private company are stimulated according to the law. And next slide. let me explain the comprehensive wastewater planning or storage system. As you can see, in order to preserve water quality in the water bodies, comprehensive watershed management is essential from the viewpoint of the reducing pollutant load in the whole rivers. As you can see this picture, this wastewater related to the some city, the city B, city C, city D, city E. In this case, the prefecture, upper local government, the prefecture should make the relation and effective sewage construction plan to achieve environmental quality standard. And based on this plan, comprehensive wastewater planning storage system, each municipality, each city have to construct wastewater treatment plan like that, and also adapt necessary treatment process at wastewater treatment plant, including advancement in order to achieve water quality standard. For example, in this picture, water quality target is stipulated BOD milligram in the river. For C, water quality standard is decided as a COD X milligram per liter. And I want to move on to the next item, water reuse. In Japan, treated wastewater is utilized for various purposes, such as sound water environmental, agriculture, industry, as urban uses. As you can see this picture, for developing sound water environment, treated wastewater is utilized for landscaping on recreation ones. And also we utilize for the industrial water and agriculture use, and also in the urban area, such as toilet flushing water and water for car washing and water for snow melting in the northern area. And this is one example water use in Japan. Fukuoka City is located at the top of the Kyushu island. Anyway, Fukuoka is very famous in Japan for the water use because, as you can see, Fukuoka City experienced severe drought in 1978. At that time, as you can see this picture, for a long time, water outrage, water disconnection continued for a long time. Based on this experience, Fukuoka City acted Save Water Promotion Ordinance by law, so that large cities are required to install double pipe system. And the one pipe is for drinking water, and the other pipe is for flash toilet water and landscaping water. And if you can, as you can this picture, these orange area near the wastewater treatment. You can see two wastewater treatments. Large building in the orange area are required reuse treated wastewater coming from these plants. And also, in order to make a better water quality, wastewater treatment plant adapted not only active sludge, this is a normal sludge adapted in Japan, but also collaboration settling and ozonation and sand filtration. This is an example, it's a famous example in Japan, how treated wastewater is utilized in the local area. Next slide. I'm sorry, the table is a very small lecture, a small character, but in Japan, based on our experience, we compromise technical standard for the treated wastewater used in Japan in 2005, about 10 years ago. As you can see this table, we selected several items. One is equally selected for viewpoint of hygiene and turbidity in order to prevent equipment clogging. And pH is selected in order to prevent equipment erosion. And also appearance, color, orders are related to the, user comfort, public comfort. And also chlorine chlorine, as you can see, chlorine is related to this infection in order to kill bacteria. I selected 1, 2, 3, 4, several items, and each value is decided for each purposes. I mean the toilet flushing water, and water for sprinkling, water for landscaping, and recreational water. And if you look at this table for the recreation water, the standard is strict compared to other purposes, because in my understanding, people, human beings, could make contact with treated wastewater in case of reclamation ones. Therefore, the number is strict, and also you can, if you can answer no regulation, when it comes to the water for landscaping, people will not contact with the treated wastewater, and also in that case we have to consider to protect the ecosystem. That's why chlorine is not related in the case of the landscaping. And next slide. Next slide. Let me about standard for facility. This is the facility standard. Toilet flushing water, and toilet for sprinkling, water for landscaping. When it comes to these purposes, wastewater should be treated sound filtration facility or facility with equivalent or superior function. Also recreation one, wastewater should be treated coagulation citrine plus sound filtration facility or facility with equivalent and superior function. We decided to adapt coagulation citrine from the viewpoint of anti-protozoal. And this is the last item which I'm going to explain about water reuse regarding to the ISO standards, international standards about water reuse. Firstly, PC 253 is inaugurated in the 2010 based on the proposal by ECR, and under the PC 253, a standard guideline utilization of treated water for irrigation was being formulated. But as I mentioned earlier, treated wastewater is utilized for not only irrigation but also other purposes. That's why Japanese government proposed to establish a new TC, technical committee, with Israel and China in 2013. The proposal was approved and the new TC has been established in 2013. And of course, the new TC span scope of the PC 253 is included not only for irrigation, but also water use in urban area and the risk and performance evaluation of the water use system. The currently participant country is 20, and the observation country is 19. I mean, these countries are contributing to developing a new standard. I think this is the last slide. New TC 282 consists of 3 subcommittees, which I mentioned earlier. First is treated wastewater use for irrigation. Second, water use in urban area. Third is the risk and performance evaluation of water reuse system. And now we are still developing international standard. So I'm sorry to say that I can't explain it in detail. But I heard that according to schedule, the international standard will come out in the 2017. That's all my explanation. Thank you so much.
We will do it right now, so I'll take just a few quick questions.
I'm so much interested in this session that I cannot refrain asking questions. Actually, I have 2 questions. One on the comprehensive basin-wide wastewater discharge planning. You have mentioned that in the basin scale, the wastewater treatment plants should be planned. Yeah, this one, at the prefecture level. So my first question is whether the prefecture, administrative units of prefectures coincide with the basins. If it doesn't coincide, who takes the decision in terms of planning or wastewater treatment plants? Because in most cases, the administrative units don't overlap exactly with the basin in terms of territories. So for example, here you have prefecture A, and whether this prefecture A is exactly the same territory as the basin. So if it is not, and if it's shared by two prefectures, who will take the decision like where wastewater treatment plants should be planned? This is the first question. The second question is about the dual system. Double, yeah, it was, how do you call it, this dual pipe system. Yeah, this one, yeah, double pipe system. So does it apply only to new buildings, or it also looks into the retrofitting of existing buildings? And is it only for the commercial or office buildings, or it also includes residential areas? So these are the two questions. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you so much for the question. In the case of the water, in the case of the basin is related to two mini prefecture. In that case, Japanese national government compliant basic plan, which means in this municipality should be so national government is supposed to make a basic plan. Based on the basic plan, each municipality, each prefecture have to make the most rational and effective construction plan. So whole area is covered by the national government.
So this is the central government?
In the central government. Yeah. And second question about Fukuoka city. Yes, as you can say, it's possible to rehabilitate the existing building. That's why the promotion bylaw only adapted to the new development.
All right, thank you very much. So let's move on to the last speaker. Thank you very much.